Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Peter Palmiotti of Even Art Studios, and this is Making Comics and Art, episode 388. First off, I'll mention my brother, Jimmy Palmiotti, has got the 30th anniversary of Painkiller Jane. Went live today, so it hasn't as of yet reached its goal, but it's got a pretty high goal, so go give it a look when you get a chance. Pledge, share, all that jazz. I got a whole bunch of links down below as well. I got some friends that need some assistance and help on some GoFundMe's. I got links and all this jazz. And we got Roland. Hey, how's it going today?
Hey man, how you doing?
So with me is Rob Norton. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. I got a crazy schedule, but I wanted to eventually have you on.
Well, I appreciate you reaching out. I was not expecting it, but it was very nice to get that message. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, my schedule has been nuts, and it's gotten to a point where I'm like, I'm getting tired. I need a break.
Yeah.
Just got a lot going on. I'm knock off a few things in the next month or two, and I'll be able to relax a lot more. It's like, freelance is never easy. And like for me, this is my job. I don't have a day job. So I got to have enough work coming in, making enough money, yada, yada. It's definitely gotten out of hand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good to have too much work, but me, I always worry about quality and just like, balance.
Sure. Yeah. I would imagine that could be a stressful kind of situation to, like you were saying, have the next job lined up, have more work ready to go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's like, it's my plan to eventually clean out a lot of work, start working on my own book again, as well as, take on better gigs.
Right.
Like really shoot for the stars and see if I can get some major gigs again.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I got to imagine might be kind of hard to get the big gigs and find that work. I don't know if that work is, I mean, I wouldn't know, is it hard to get that, is there that much work going around, or you just kind of just luck of the draw sometimes?
I mean, there's plenty of books being made, and it really depends on, what I think is a better gig.
Sure.
I mean, I've worked for Marvel and DC and some other publishers. It's really whatever suits my fancy,
Yeah.
Maybe it's the people I work with, maybe it's the character, maybe it's the publisher, it really all depends. I mean, we're talking probably next year. Like I got this what I'm working on right now is a graphic novel. It's at least going to be 130 pages that I have to ink.
Oh, wow.
So I'll be working on this for quite some time. But I got some other gigs, it's like some small stuff, some big stuff. I'll be quite busy this year. But I could dream ahead.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So 130 something pages. That's quite the book. Can you tell me who it's for, or is it kind of not announced yet? Or
I mean, I've talked about it. It was originally a series through Image back in the early 2000s. So this book is called Faction Paradox. So back then, 2 issues were published, and it had a writer, Lawrence Miles. Lawrence Miles wrote some Doctor Who novels, and one of them was titled Faction Paradox. Well, the comic was everything in the novel that wasn't part of Doctor Who continuity. And
okay.
He was given permission by the Doctor Who people that he could do his own novel, own comic series based off the things he created in the novel. So, 2 issues came out. We started on the 3rd. It was Lawrence, Jim Calfury, and myself. And the numbers weren't there, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, move on to another project, whatever. And a couple of years back, this guy, Finn Clark, who's out in London, he was looking at the comics, and he was like, I really like the story. I would really like to see it finished. And I also have some of my own ideas. And so he was like, I'm going to make this into a graphic novel. He got all the permission to do it. And he's doing it as a kind of sort of choose your own adventure book.
Okay.
And so we'll have a couple of different endings. So we're using the original pages. So there were whatever 30 pages originally, and then we have a new artist, which is a friend of mine, Les Lyndon Gardner, is the penciler on this, and I'm still the inker. And yeah, so sometime this year, once we got a good amount of the book done, we'll be crowdfunding, and mostly for the U.S. audience, because it already has a London publisher that will be putting the book out. So yeah, it's a really cool project, and really fun and strange, and lots of craziness ensues inside.
That's awesome. So you were part of the creative way back in originally, and now you get to kind of pick up and keep going with it.
Yeah. It's it's nice to see something like, relive and actually, we'll put it in a final big product, a big book.
Sure.
So yeah, we got Dan Kemp is going to be coloring it. He's done Spawn and Spider-Man and a whole bunch of coloring around. And yeah, I hope it does really, really well. There'll be multiple covers to it. I've already seen a bunch of them. Just really excited about it overall. And that's, mostly what I'm going to be focusing on my channel here. But I got, like I said, ton of other stuff to work on too.
Right. Awesome. That sounds fantastic. It sounds like a great project.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Les is an incredible artist. He's got multiple books he's working on. This being only one of them. He's like the penciler, like speedster. He's really, really fast and good. And, so he'll knock this project out in no time. So Roland says, Rob drawing at a reasonable what?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm usually doing stuff late at night.
Speaking of quality, Rob sounds and looks totally fine. So maybe it had better repetition is because of Jess.
Yeah, it's the gal I do a lot of live streams with, and we've had a
Right.
lot of struggle with like bad reception and glitchy
Uh,
audio, and we used to do it all the time, and it was never had a problem. And then in the last year, it's just suddenly it's just such a frustrating, like it doesn't make sense. I don't get why. So it's nice to know that at least it's going good here.
yeah. Yeah. Kind of like how Death's Head is a Transformers character.
Yeah.
Like, right. Yeah, it's like I'm not some pro YouTuber where my quality is always the best. Um, I was not streaming for a while, then I took up streaming. I don't even know. I guess early this year, and I couldn't get my lighting right for whatever reason. Like even now, it's like I have to play with it every now and then. But it was like the lighting was pretty horrible, but whatever. I still streamed. It's
Yeah.
like, screw it.
Yeah, I have an incredibly low tech setup. It's literally just my cell phone, my desk, and I got a lamp kind of clipped to the wall where it's kind of back away from me and overhead, so it kind of projects down, and it works well enough, but it's certainly not some high quality production I got going with any of my stuff at all.
Yeah, I think, definitely at some point I'm gonna spend some money again and see if I can do the better lighting, do the better webcam, all that jazz. But not really concerned.
Yeah. I actually just bought and got just 2 days ago. I haven't tried them yet, but I bought an actual like microphone to use with my phone, so I was trying to solve the audio problem, and I haven't tried it yet, but I have bought my first piece of like slightly upgraded equipment to try to make things go better in the future. So we'll see how that works out. We will
Well,
see.
yeah. Well, you got a much bigger channel than mine. You got like 7,000 subscribers or something.
Yeah, it's 7,600 something. So it's I'm no one's more shocked than me. I don't know how it got like that. I don't know it's just like what? How? What? In fact, ironically, tomorrow is my anniversary of starting my channel 3 years ago. That's tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, so I kind of didn't even realize that until just earlier today at work. I was kind of looking around. I'm like, oh wait, when did I start this channel? And it's like literally 3 years ago tomorrow. I'm like, oh shoot. Normally I would like plan a thing, and I haven't planned anything. So I don't know.
Tune in tomorrow for the celebration.
Yeah. But it's flown by, but it's kind of been its own crazy kind of rewarding experience in ways I never would have thought. I've had the opportunity to meet so many people, like right here talking with you. You know what I mean? It's like, how did this happen? How did I get this lucky? So
what was your first video? Like, what made you start up your YouTube channel?
what made me want to start it?
Yeah.
It's kind of a fog in a way. I didn't have I had no plan. I had no goals or like ulterior motive. I'm sitting down here drawing, and I'm doing my own stuff. And, I had kind of recently been divorced, so I'm focusing on my art. I got a lot of time to myself. And then, of course, I spent a lot of time watching the Cartoonist Kayfabe channel, and spend a lot of time listening to them. And for some reason, I was like, well, I can't do what they do because they're working professionals and just filled to the brim with knowledge. But I could just turn on the camera and start talking about comics and just kind of say what I think about it. I mean, why not? What could it hurt? It's like no one's going to watch, so who cares? So I'm like, all right. And my friend, who the guy in the chat was just talking about, Jessica, we chat all the time, and she's like, you should do a YouTube channel. You could talk about art process and this, that, and the other. And so she kind of motivated me. And just one day I'm like, why not? Let's try it. So I just turned on the camera and started talking about Spawn #1, because why not? And then I just kind of kept going, and I kind of got into a rhythm I wasn't expecting to, where I was putting out one every day. And I've maintained a daily video upload for 3 straight years.
Wow.
So I think that has a lot to do with, consistency. People see that, and
Oh yeah,
that helps.
yeah, most definitely. Like that's recommended over everything else. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. If you do it consistently, especially every day, people will find you and start watching it.
Right. And it just kind of just kept going, and I don't know, and it became a very fun thing. It has days where it feels like, because it essentially is like a second job. It's, my channel's monetized, and so I get a few bucks from it. It's not a lot. By no means can I live on it even close, but it's a little bit of a side income, and so that helps. And then again, it keeps me motivated to keep drawing my own amateur crap. And I'm sitting here making videos, often talking crap on some books, and then I'm like, well, at least I make them too, even if I'm a nobody amateur guy. I at least kind of try to make my own, and walk the walk, so to speak. So
yeah,
and like I said, I've met and had the opportunity to get to know a lot of people, like working with Chuck Gibson,
yeah.
who used to work with Jim Lee. He was hired by Wildstorm back in the day, and we've done a bunch of stuff together. And
Very
so,
cool.
yeah, he's a really fun guy. And so just different things like that. It's just kind of like, how did this happen? This is crazy, but I'm glad that I did it. It's kind of rewarding and validating, and so I'll just keep riding it out as long as I can and see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I missed the boat. It's like I was a partner on YouTube years ago, and they changed the rules, so I was no longer a partner. So then I had to restart my whole evaluation with them, and I'm still yet to be monetized here.
Yeah.
I'm not consistent enough because it's like when I'm too busy, I don't do video. I don't do live streaming.
No, I get it. You're like, I got work to do. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. It's like I can get work done while I live stream, but for me to really focus, I can't have an audience.
sure.
Um,
Yeah, that
so,
makes perfect sense.
but I'm sure it's going to happen. There's a lot of good things happening this year that I'll probably be streaming a lot more. Yeah, if I can get a couple of bucks coming my way, I'll get the I use StreamYard. I'll get the pro version so I can stream every day.
Right.
Just see how that goes. Yeah, but yeah, so it's gorgeous outside today. I don't know about how it is by you.
Where are you at in the world? If
I'm
you don't
I'm
mind
in
mentioning.
Kentucky. I'm in Kentucky. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York,
Okay, right.
but I'm living out in Kentucky right now. And yeah, it's just a small town. Um, we got crushed by the snowstorm and all that jazz. But now I think today's high is 69, and it's going to be just a lot
Oh,
of
wow.
at least a week of 70 degrees plus. So
Nice.
yeah, really, really nice weather coming our way. It is a bit early.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't love the summer, you know, in this sun and the anything over like 85 degrees, I start to
Yeah.
melt.
Like that's not, now it's not comfortable. Now it's miserable.
Yeah, it's like I can't focus, I can't work, I can't like I don't like to run the AC all day, you know.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I just become useless. Um, but then if I have deadlines and whatnot, I tend to work early morning or late at night.
Yeah. It's I'm here in Utah, and it was cold, and then it kind of got warm and nice, and then it suddenly decided to freeze really cold and dump a lot of snow on us, which we need. So now it's just been raining a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been crazy because I got friends out in New York or East Coast and they've been dumped on.
Right.
Yeah, I don't understand. I see so many videos on like Facebook and shit that people are just like digging out their driveways, but there's no roads. There's nowhere to go. All right, let me catch up on. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Roland says most inking streams I see are just a bald guy hunched over his desk with an iPhone above to record everything. There you go. That's me. I'm a bald guy. Remember to write it off as a business expense. Yes, everything is a business expense.
Right.
Well, what about Kessel, LIFO, Hawk and Dove for an anniversary?
I think I've already covered those.
That was LIFO's best work right there.
Yeah.
So this is all Jess's fault. There you go. It's enough to pay back the cost of the book. Yep. I have a friend that quit doing inking streams and said that his productivity increased fourfold. Yeah, I mean, it's like sometimes, I mean, different things work at different times. It depends on, you know, what you're going through in life and whatever. Sometimes I'm really focused on a stream. It's like I made my favorite piece of artwork during a stream, which is I don't know if you ever saw. I did an alien piece that I made into a print. Yeah, I posted around multiple times and whatever. That I did a stream with three other friends, and each other friend was a better artist than me. So somehow I got really focused and did an amazing piece.
Hey, sometimes, yeah, being around people who you consider to be better than you, it focuses you. You're like, you know what? I got to represent. I gotta bring my A game. And then sometimes you're like, hey, look what I did. This is okay.
Yeah. I can't screw this up in front of him. I got Montoya with us. Welcome. My dad's lived in Hawaii for over 30 years and considers anything below 90 degrees freezing. Well, you know, it's what you used to, man. It's like if you usually used to the high temps, I can understand. You know, I'm from New York, and you know, definitely winters over there are a lot more severe than they are out here in Kentucky. But you know, for the past, you know, since 2006, for the most part, I've been living out in Kentucky. I've gotten used to, you know, what the weather is over here. So I couldn't handle the severe storms that they have.
Yeah, here in Utah this season feels like winter just skipped us by because we had maybe one snowstorm where it dumped snow and then it stuck for longer than a couple of days. Beyond that, it would kind of, snow a little bit, but then it was gone by the next day. And, I know a lot of people are like, I hate the snow. I'm like, yeah, I know, I get it. But guess what? The mountains need it for water. We're in a drought. This is how the cycle of life works. We need this. It's bad if we don't have snow. So I'm all for it.
Yeah. I mean, I know we had our snowstorm like January 24th, and the snows, like kept coming a couple of times, and we weren't rid of it for 3 weeks. So, and until like middle of February. The worst part is that it all turned to ice pretty early on.
Yeah.
And cleanup here isn't like cleanup in New York. Like it took a while. So it was like a lot of, just walking around in ice for a long time. Which is not fun.
No. Yeah. One little slip and you snap your ankle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Doesn't take much. Hey, we got
Omer Glitch.
Omer Glitch says hello all. Welcome. Eventually I'll get everybody on here.
You've streamed with Mitch, right?
Yeah. Me and Mitch have streamed a whole bunch of times. Okay. We did a bunch of private streams first, just hanging out and working and chatting.
Oh wow!
And then he's been on my channel a whole bunch of times, at least 6, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that Mitch guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah. He's a talented son of a.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the book he's doing. I can't wait to get my hands on the physical copy because I got to read a digital version and that stuff made me laugh so hard in like the most legit way. I love this thing. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Well, I know he's back on his own schedule, so
yeah,
sure he's working on it.
I keep meaning to ask him. I know I saw the thing you inked for him, and I keep forgetting. I want to see it kind of up close because I want to see what Mitch's work looks like inked by someone else because I don't know that he's ever done that before. And I remember seeing as you were working on it, I was like, that looks great, but I never got to see it kind of like a high resolution just to kind of see the up close of it. The artist in me wants to see the line work on it and see how it looks now that Mitch has got someone else like a pro inker working on him. I'm always curious as to what that kind of ends up looking like.
I did the one piece. I mean, I'm down for more. It's up to Mitch.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could just send you to like a high res. Because I posted it around, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I know I saw it, and I
I know it's difficult, to see, if you go on Instagram and just click on it, it's not really like a close up of it per se.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll send you a high res or.
Yeah, I thought it looked fantastic though. I remember seeing it. I'm like, that looks great. That looks really cool. That's going to be what, a cover for book 5, 6? What was it?
6. Yeah. So not even this year. I'm actually inking Mike. How do you pronounce his last name? McComb. You know who I'm talking about.
Mike McMahon.
McCohen, man. Is that how you pronounce it? Well, yeah, he's part of Mitch's crew, and he's around everywhere.
Yeah.
He does a USA Assassin.
Yeah. He drew a variant cover for my book coming up. Yeah.
He's really fantastic, and he's one of the covers I got coming up that I got to ink. That will be issue 2, so that will be published before the Mitch's cover.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, that's just the way it works out, right?
Well, I mean, Mitch made it issue 6 randomly, so that's his problem. I mean, fault. You know, he could always change his mind, but yeah, Mike's cover is for issue 2, so that will see print first.
What tool are you using to ink with, if you don't mind my asking?
This is a samurai sword. No, this is a Hunt 1-2.
Nice.
You know, I use all the traditional, typical tools. You know, I got Winsor Newton, I got Hunt, I got some tech pens for more technical machinery or buildings or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love, you know, originally, like, really, like, Bernie Wrightson was my inking inspiration early on, and I inked everything with brush. And you know, it's possible to have a career using brush alone, but you know, my brother, who's also in the biz, he suggested I learn to use a quill, and I was reluctant at first, and it was difficult at first. Eventually I got the hang of it, and it's definitely very, very helpful.
Yeah, well, one, I like just seeing artists doing the old school methods and keeping it going. Whether it's, I mean, again, I have no problem with like people at all that you do like digital art. Like, of course, I get it, but
Right.
I just like seeing stuff made by hand on paper with pencil and ink, like the old school way. And I've, like, people say, why don't you try and do digital art? I'm like, I could, but I grew up seeing my favorite artist draw on paper with ink. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. So I just keep sticking to these ways of doing it. And that's what I want. And I like having original art. I don't like the idea that my art only exists in a digital space and one wrong with a hard drive and it's gone forever.
Right.
You know, granted, you could say, hey, you could have a fire and burn everything down. Like, oh, okay, sure, I get that. But and I just think there's something about inking for people who are good at it with the Hunt 102 and that type of stuff, where that lines that get pulled out of that pen, it's unlike anything else. And I've farted around with it for years, and I could never make it work consistently, repeatedly. Like, I might get lucky and I'll throw a couple of lines. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got a line that I've always wanted to see. Now it's like, now do it again.
Yeah.
And it doesn't quite work. And I know it's just a matter of practice, but it's so hard. But I think it's just the neatest tool. Like, I've got one right here next to me, but you know, it's such a tricky tool.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's, you know, it digs into the paper, so you gotta be aware to keep your point clean. You know, I use an X-Acto blade to clean my pen tip, essentially.
Right.
You know, some people use like a rag and water and all that, but I really like to use the X-Acto blade. Just shave off the excess ink.
Right.
Works better for me. But yeah, I mean, like anyone who wants to learn traditional tools, I have a $1,000 course. No, I'm always willing to throw you some tips or whatever.
Yeah, that's funny because you talk about using a razor blade. Again, whenever I want to make sure I state that when I'm like, oh yeah, I do the same thing. By no means in any way, shape, or form am I comparing myself to you. Like I'm just a chucklehead amateur. But I get that 102, and I have razor blades, and I'm here kind of scraping off that excess ink on there to try and keep it clean, so it doesn't get all gunked up. And then I used to struggle with the tips of the thing getting stuck inside the holder because the ink fills up inside there and then it hardens, and then you can't pull it out without crushing the nib itself.
Well, in that case, you use like a rag to grab the tip and pull it out.
I've tried things like that, and I also fully acknowledge that at times I've been really bad at care of my tools, and so I've maybe let it sit around with that gunk in there for too long, and it's just like I tried everything I could do to get that thing to pull out, and I just could not. So I'm hypersensitive about it now. Like I'll pull it out every time I'm done with it and clean it off and make sure it's okay, and then kind of put it back in. But such a tricky, temperamental tool. But
Yeah, I mean, like it just takes a little thought and just persistence and uh I wouldn't consider myself a master at anything, but it is what I do best, for better or worse.
sure.
And yeah, it's best not to let tools lie around in waste for long. Like
Sure. Oh yeah.
regardless of whatever you're using. Especially traditional tools, and I mean, if you're using modern day tools, you gotta keep your shit, up to date,
Right.
up to date, and all that. Yeah, it's just you learn by doing, and you learn by making mistakes, and you're definitely bound to make mistakes along the way, which is part of the fun.
Do you follow Liam Sharp on Facebook or anything like that?
Yeah.
He was posting up some of his Conan pages, and
Right.
I asked him on there because I'm like, what do you ink with? And if I remember correctly, because I remember being shocked, I've got this right here in my hand, the Pentel Pocket Pen. He says that's all he uses.
Okay. That's
I'm
the
like,
like the brush pen.
I'm like
Yeah.
the Pentel Pocket Brush Pen. I'm like, I even like had to double check. He's like, yep, that's all I use. I'm like, you're kidding. Like, really? I mean, I'm sure he uses like a brush to fill in big, surfaces
Right.
of black,
Yeah.
but I was like, wow, okay. That's because that stuff looked amazing to me. I was like, I couldn't believe that. That was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably his new way of doing things. I don't imagine he did that like 10 years ago.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, I was just talking about what did he
yeah,
use on
yeah,
this current stuff that he had right there.
yeah. Um, I have people constantly telling me like that's a good thing to use. Like I don't have one personally. I have sort of some markers that were given to me that are similar. Like it's a brush tip kind of thing.
Sure.
Um, I have no problem with people using that. That's just not my way of going about it. But maybe I'll use those for like convention sketches, like or whatever.
Right. Right.
Um, I do plan to get into coloring because I want to color my own book. And I'm going to be using Procreate and maybe Procreate and Clip Studio Paint combined. We'll see. But it's like I'm not averse to using digital programs or whatever to do things.
Sure.
I've had a lot of people come to me and say, you should do digital inking. Like, it's like you should watch more TV. Like, yeah. Don't tell me what to do. Let's go back in the chat. Mitch is the other Canadian sensation. James Edward Clark. That's name's really familiar.
He's really good. He's got a very distinctive kind of odd style and I mean that in every positive way. But man, can he draw! Like the skills is just wow.
Well, I'll have to look him up again. Let's see. Plus, Instaham has that damn cropping. Yeah. Yes, Mike. Let's see. Great to see you gents making that comic book art. Yes. That's what we live for.
Right?
Using quills and left-handed at that. That is true. I am known as the left-handed guy. Let's see, old school like Dan Jurgens, where instead of doing things in layers, he just light boxes another copy. I don't know the particulars of how Dan worked, but I know he was about speed during his heyday. Like that guy churned out work like nothing else.
Oh, really? Wow.
Well, I mean, he was one of the Superman artists and had his hands in a lot of things back when up at DC and stuff. Might as well use a leather block like an old school barber. Yeah, there you go. What about rinsing the nib with isopropyl alcohol? However you say that word. I mean, like some people have like very, like chemicals. I don't like to use, like alcohol isn't necessarily, it's kind of a chemical. Yeah, I mean, like it probably works. I still go with, like I've tried different things over the years, and while scraping a 102 nib with an X-Acto blade doesn't always 100% give me the results I want. For the most part, it does. So I'll just stick with that and continue with that. I'm a man of, it's like I like my routine. I like using the same shit over and over. Like I don't like when Facebook and other sites update. That's
right? Right? It's like I knew exactly where everything was and how it works, and I knew what I was doing. Now I got to go searching.
Yeah. Why you change stuff? It looks different.
Yeah.
And here's Mel. Great work, gentlemen. Thanks for coming to hang out. Check us out.
Mello, what's up, dude?
Me and Mello might be doing a collaboration in the future.
Ooh.
Oh, me and Rob will if he agrees to it.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Yeah. I really like your work, and I think we can do something pretty cool together.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Piss Ant Apocalypse is by JEC. Piss Ant Apocalypse.
Piss Ant Apocalypse. Yeah, that's one of those James Edward Clark books. He has some crazy titles. He's got this new one coming out. It's like
it's a hippopotamus something.
Florida cocaine bear massacre or something like that.
Yeah.
The title alone, I'm like, oh, you got my interest. You got my attention.
Yeah, his work is fun. It's very Very, very cool. My commitment is in reference to watching more TV thing you said, Peter. Watch more TV. Leave me alone. I mean, Rob could try rubbing alcohol to extract the nib when it gets skunked up. Oh, you know what it is? My reluctance to use any chemicals is from I tried cleaning a brush tip. Like you know how you can use a brush and it just gets too clogged at the tip and too gunked up to ever use again.
Right.
And I tried to bring one back to life using a brush cleaner, and it just dissolved the whole like wooden part of the brush.
Oh, wow.
Because I dipped it too far in. Like I taped it in a jar with the chemical and like it was a whole thing. Anyway, it dissolved the wood, and it was like, oh, this is all fucked up now. I wouldn't even use it. Want to use it.
You're like, all right, never mind. I'll just move on to something else. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Noah says, yes, just enjoying the show. Yes. Yeah. Do a collab one day. Yeah, I just, as I mentioned earlier, it's like I got a lot of smaller side projects, a couple of covers and things to get through. So I think next month I'll be a lot more relaxed.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting close to having my. I've been waiting for Chuck to be able to wrap up the inking on the stuff that we're doing, and he's like really, really close. He's had some kind of things in his life that kind of he's had to kind of pause for a minute. He has some personal stuff, and that's all. Like I get it, of course, but we're real close. And then I'm gonna put together this stupid thing that we've been working on and try and put it out there, kind of like Mitch did on a crowdfunder, and see what kind of traction we can get there.
So is it a book or is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, it's a regular comic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like you make it sound like something else.
No.
It's like we've been building this thing. I don't know what the hell it is.
Right. It's such a silly concept. I got done doing my He-Man fan comic, and I kind of had this other thing I was going to start working on immediately, but I got this dumb idea in my head, and I'm like, this is not going to leave my head if I don't do it. And so I'm like, Chuck, I think I want to do this. He's like, all right, if you say so, let's go. Because he'd been out of comics. He'd been retired for a long time. And he wanted to get kind of back into it, and he kind of ran across me and kind of hit me up and was like, hey, you got anything I could work on? Because he wanted to get because he inks digitally for the most part. He's been getting back into doing it by hand, but he worked for a long time to get his digital inks to look as not fake digital looking as he said. He wanted it to be indistinguishable as much as possible, like it was done by hand, which I think he's gotten pretty about as close as you could get.
Yeah.
But and so he's just kind of, joined forces with me for this one thing, and it's a parody sequel to a storyline comic that Liefeld started and never finished, and I just had to know what happened. So, and I bought the book, and it's ridiculous. And then that Liefeld did. And then I'm like, I have to see how this story ends. So I got the collected edition, and he never once finished the main point of the story that caught my attention. Right. And I'm like, I have to see where this goes. So I just started coming up with the ideas on my own. So I'm like, well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell that I'm going to, change the names and the looks and characters and just do like a stupid parody version of it. And 32 pages later, like I've been done drawing it for a while, just waiting for Chuck to get going, or not get going, to get wrapped up. But the stuff he's turning in is looking just so cool.
So is this what you call Master's End?
No, that's just the He-Man fan comic.
Oh, okay.
And that's the thing that I finished that up, and then I was like, I was going to move on to something else. But then this parody sequel, like I did a video on the Liefeld book, and I just started thinking, like, where is this going? I don't know if there's this issue of Bloodstrike, you know, one of his Image characters, and the basic premise is the character gets in a fight because this Bloodstrike character is just Deadpool. That's all it is.
Right.
It's just Deadpool, but he ends up in a fight with his ex-girlfriend. She kicks his butt, knocks him out, and he wakes up and she's chopped off his pecker and ran off with it. And it ends with her holding it in a jar and showing one of her friends. She's like, "Look, I took it from him. I've got it." I'm like, wow, he really wanted to do some over-the-top silly thing. I kind of applaud the, like, just go for it. Just make a ridiculous thing. And so I went on Amazon and found the collected book, and that is like, that's the first issue of like 6 issues in this collected volume, and it's never addressed again. He never wrapped up the storyline. I'm like, come on, how can you, like, that's some wild, over the top, crazy. And so I just started thinking all these stupid ideas. So I've just like, all right, well, I'm gonna tell that story, and I took it to some extreme silly places. Like this is it's not for kids.
I mean, for a Rob Liefeld book, I know that's pretty extreme, you know, for a guy who's always extreme.
I mean, I kind of applauded him for, like, okay, he's going for some like adult, weird, over the top humor. Like, oh, great. Where is it going? And it went nowhere. I'm like, okay, well.
You know, I would see something like that and think, what happened in his real life that made him want to do that story?
Like, is there some trauma?
Just some talk. So Mello says, you may have mentioned this already. What are the pieces you're working on screen? Well, really simply, I went into deeper, but this is a graphic novel I'm working on. This is page 3 of what will probably be total 180 pages. Most of them, like 50 of them, from a series that was released through Image early 2000s. But yeah, you'll hear more about this as time goes on, and we'll probably be crowdfunding before the end of the year. And what are you working on, Rob?
So this is just a character of mine for an entirely different thing, and I had found some fun reference online of this girl standing here in this pose with the arm, and so I just kind of used it as a reference to draw just the basic figure. And I had it penciled and I hadn't finished it, and I was looking for something to kind of work on while we were going to be chatting and doing this. I'm like, oh yeah, I could sit here and kind of ink away at this. So it's just for fun. It's not for anything. It's just drawing, just inking, just cuz.
Do you sell your own art?
I mean, yes. I don't like have like a Etsy shop or something like that where I shout it out, and I should probably get on board with that. I've had a couple of people hit me up occasionally here and ask, but I don't really like promote that as a thing. I just don't think about it. I'm just here. I'm just doing my YouTube channel and making my comics, and
yeah.
So I don't really think about, like, let me try and sell my art.
Well, I mean, like, you know, if you got a day job, you think about it less, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm at work big chunks of the day, and it's like I come home and I'm like, oh, I got these things I got to do, and
Well, cool. I'm sure if somebody messaged you and said, "Hey, I really like that piece. Can I buy it?"
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, on my channel, about maybe 2 months ago, I've been meaning to do this forever, and because I'm just a bad self-promoter, I started putting up at the beginning of my videos. I'm like, hey, by the way, before I get going, I have this. I have all my 6 volumes of my fan comic for anybody who's interested. And I have a sketchbook that I did, and I also have this big I'm trying to think of the term. This what's it called? We have a big book with a whole bunch of and
A trade or a
anthology
omnibus
an
anthology. Yeah.
anthology book where I was part of it, and
Oh, okay, yeah.
I did like a 6 or 8 page story inside it, and they sent me a whole bunch of copies of it. And so I'm like, hey, I've got these, I've got this, I've got that. So if you're interested, and that actually generated some, people picking stuff up. But I'm like, oh, as dumb as that sounds, how obvious is it? You talk about it and you get people to know about it, and eventually, and so I actually sold out of a couple volumes of I've got 6 volumes of that fan comic. There's 6 graphic novels. And I actually ran out of copies, and so I had to get more in, which I just did this last weekend. So I've got a few more copies ready to go. So I'm going to start putting it back out there on the beginning of my videos. I'm like, hey, I got restocked. So if you're interested, I have a couple of things, but it worked. I moved several sets of this thing. I'm like, oh, isn't it weird when you talk about it online and you kind of have an audience, people listen and sometimes respond.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
It's like all the big companies advertise every freaking day online. Why should the little guys,
Right.
That's how you sell stuff.
Yeah. There's also for me a little bit of like, I'm a nobody. I'm not that great. Why, it's like, why would anybody want to buy my crap? Like, who would care? There's that kind of self-defeating talk, and you have to like move past that and grow up and just offer it. And if people want it, then great. If not, then no big deal.
Why put thoughts into people's head? Like, why tell people what you think of yourself? Just tell them like, hey, want some great art? I make great art.
Right. Here you go.
Don't give them your trauma side,
I know, right?
Because I mean, with what's it take to be an artist? You're somebody who makes art. What's it take to make comics? You're somebody who makes comics. It's like you don't go to a gallery or a museum and look at paintings on a wall, and like ask the people who made it, like, what were you going through? Like, when you painted that. It's very disturbing. Now,
right.
I mean, it's like you do the thing, and it's up to the people to see what they want to see.
Right.
It's like you go to see a movie. That's something very laid out for you, but not always. Like sometimes it's like some movies are the sort of movies that don't tell you every single thing 3 times over and beat you over the head with it. Some stories are like, it's almost suggestions and for you to make up your mind as to what's going on. And that, like art is very much like that. Like, you could draw a tree and somebody can look at it and start crying because it reminds them of a tree they hung out with their parents who passed on, and whatever.
Sure.
Like,
No, I totally agree with you. You're totally right.
Yeah. So it's okay to suck, is what I'm saying.
No. So it's okay. It's like suck all day. It's all right. One of my greatest kind of joys out of doing my channel here is because I'm always on and I'm always making my stuff, and I've had several people see the stuff that I'm doing, and because I'm always promoting the idea of like, I know a lot of people that they're like, I want to make a comic. So I'm like, so do it. Stop talking about it. Stop telling people about what you're going to do, because you've probably been telling people you're going to do it for the last 20 years. Make the thing. Like, just start. And
Yeah.
even if it's not a fraction as good as you want it to be, it's the comic in hand that you made that's maybe you think it's terrible. It's 1,000 times better than the idea in another dude's head that never gets made. So
Right.
just make the thing. And I talk about that all the time, and I've had several people hit me up and tell me that me constantly working on my own stuff and grinding and doing the thing and then pushing people like, make your thing, it's actually got them back into drawing or motivated them to keep going, because I'm sitting here like, I'm doing it and I'm no good, but just keep going, just make it, like, make it for the love of it. You can't, don't go into this thinking like, oh, this is the path to riches, because that's not the right mindset. You should make comics because you love it, and
Well,
you'll be glad that you did.
I say, screw it. You will make millions. That's the
Right.
mindset to have.
Right? There's an end goal. I promise you'll get there. But yeah, that's been the big rewarding part, is having people tell me like, I've inspired them by saying, just get going, just go, just move.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Cool.
I've been thinking about it or nervous to try it, but I'm like, I want to do it. So they thank me. I'm like, well, God, that's, I don't know what to say. Thank you for, hearing what I had to say. And like, just, I've got a little sign right up here on my wall in front of me. It says, make your comics, like, get making them. Just start telling some stories. Just go.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. I used to post like upload random videos, do random streams, and only 387 videos ago, I decided to make a series, making comics and art, because, it's pretty much covers everything I talk about. um, and it's not a difficult thing to make a comic. If you want to do it and you want to do it at an excellence level, then just keep making new ones, like
Right.
get a couple of books under your belt. I've been inking since 1991, but I'm only really starting to push myself in the direction of penciling books. I've some penciled some stuff here and there. I've done some covers, pinups, short anthology stories, whatever. But I plan to do my own character who's retro. Plan to do him as an ongoing book, but I also want to do other people's books. Just get a whole bunch of books under my belt. Hey, Saboteur, welcome. Um, and yeah, it's just a matter of just do it. Like, whatever your level is, you will find out by doing it, and don't let that stop you, because everybody starts from point A.
Right.
Like, if you think the quality could be better, then great. Like, you see how it can be better. That already tells you that, you see where you should be training yourself.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And if for nothing else, it's usually like I've picked up so many first issues from creators, like those are usually the most charming, quality wise. Like they might not have been expert at anatomy or perspective or whatever. But there's something about people's first issues or first attempts that are just so like, like that's just them going for it.
Right.
Because once they become professional, once they become slick, it's boring.
Yeah, it's such an unfortunate kind of thing. It's like, it's weird to like get more fundamentally sound but potentially less interesting. I'm like, oh, I don't want to lose that if I ever were to be lucky enough to have it in the first place. But I've heard them talk about it all the time. Everyone talks about Stephen Platt. He's so much more fundamentally sound now than he ever was, quote unquote, but professional style than back in the early Image days. But all anyone ever talks about is that early stuff he did that was just insane.
Yeah, it's like I see his the first Moon Knight cover over and over and over and over everywhere.
Right.
And it's an amazing cover. I still don't know what the hell's going on in it, but it's
right.
it's charming.
Yeah.
But yeah, his early work had so much energy and excitement and detail, and yeah, his new work, much like Torres,
Yep.
like, and even like Joe Quesada. It's like all their new work. It's nice, it's quality. But it's there's something about it. It's not as exciting, not as fun.
Yeah.
Stick in whatever adjective you want.
Right. I think of Jay Lee is certainly in that camp of that
right
crazy like Namor era, and the stuff he did for Image, the Wildcat stuff, and he did that story for Liefeld and all that stuff. That insane stuff.
Yeah.
I remember seeing an interview with him where he said literally, he's like, I don't even know if he's like, I don't know if I could even remember how to draw like that. He's so far removed from it. He's like, I don't know if I could even do it if I tried. I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate, because his stuff is so clean and slick and pretty and nice, but that raw, insane energy in that older stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Yeah. Where's more of that?
Yeah. It's like, I don't think he's lost it. Like, he knows how to do quality and gorgeous looking work. It's just a mindset, really. Like, maybe he needs to put on some rock music and just get lost in making art or something,
Heck yeah.
Yeah, his Hell Shock was fun. He's got like decades of great work.
Yeah.
His Namor was insane. Like, there's a book that clearly like he was rushing through to meet a monthly deadline.
Yeah.
But it was so fun, and I kind of like the, like both him and Travis sort of have a lot of, white space in their pages that are them designing the panels in such a way that the storytelling is still there, but it has a design quality. And yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I didn't, say we'll be going X amount of long. Like, if you need to go or you want to hang out a little more, I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, I'm okay. Okay. How long we've been just barely in? How long we've been going?
Just over an hour.
Oh yeah. No, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. So.
I don't want to keep you prisoner,
Oh no, I got no one here, nothing else going on. It's fine. Yeah. Like I said, I just got off work, and so I come home and I'm a little bit like, I'm just kind of out of it. But I sit down, I start drawing, and then talking and inking, and I'm like, I'm doing just fine. I'm good.
Awesome.
So thank you, though. I appreciate you mentioning that.
For sure. So is there anything out there that's exciting you of late?
In the comics world?
Or any world. I mean,
anywhere, anything.
Yeah.
Comics wise, man, I haven't been as excited for a comic as much as I have for in a long time for Battle Beast.
Is it an ongoing?
Yeah. Well, they did 6 issues, and then they paused it to let Otley bank a few more. So then when they start releasing them again, they're hitting a monthly schedule. I don't know how long it's. I don't know if I've heard like how long they're going to go, but I was kind of excited for it when they announced. I'm like, okay, that'll be cool. I mean, Battle Beast is a great character. He's so fun. But I'm like, is this going to sustain an entire series? But yeah, I'm like, it's one of the funnest books because it's just so like, it's this action adventure. This monster character, he runs into some other oddball characters that are very opposite of him, and they're going through the universe and running into monsters, and Otley draws crazy over the top violence.
Yeah.
And it's just so fun, but they keep throwing in little moments of like, amidst all the violence and all the kind of the humor and the craziness, there's a few like little like moments of like, oh, there's some like, I'm kind of interested in the character. Like there's characterization going on. I'm kind of interested into the mind of what's going on in this big monster. This is really fun. And I haven't been that excited over a comic once I got reading it. I'm like, okay, this is great. I'm having so much fun with that. So that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I mean, I've dropped out of reading. I mean, back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. I mean, I was reading like crazy, like 1,000 books a month. Like, I mean, especially like early when I was working in the industry, and I get boxes of free comics from different publishers and whatnot. It's like, I gotta read them. Now I'm not really reading anything, but of course I got too much work and not enough brain cells. That's the first thing to go, my brain cells. It's like I can't focus on anything.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't been reading anything new in a long time because there's just nothing. For me, it's all art driven, and I'm like, the greatest story in the world that's fine, but if like I find the artist boring, it's not impossible to get me interested. It's really hard because as a guy who draws, I'm like, I want to see this amazing visuals. That's what gets my attention first. And I don't know what's happened to there just seems to be there's nobody out there doing crazy, wild, innovative stuff that just blows your hair back. And unless I'm just missing it, I don't know. So I hadn't been collecting new comics for a long time. So when I started my channel, I'm like, I'm just going to talk about the stuff that I've collected when I was younger, and I've gotten my long boxes, and that's it. But there's been a few things coming out that I'm like, hey, there's some interest going on. This is kind of fun. Good job, everybody.
Oh, we got OK Comics with us, and he says, my favorite comics from last year were Oatly, Battle Beast, and Juan Jordan's Cowboys of Moo Mesa. And I swear I'm not a furry.
That's what everyone who's a furry says.
Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Moo Mesa. Wasn't that an animated show back in the day?
Doesn't ring a bell.
I think it was a cartoon show.
I gotta look it up though. At least the comic. Without even knowing every book that's out there now, I just know like the probability is that there's some really great books out there. There's some really great art happening out there.
Sure.
you know, I mean, it's just, you know, there usually is. Like the percentage may not be high, but I can probably guarantee there's probably some amazing books out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and for me, it's like I have, you know, I don't have a comic store in town. I haven't been to one in such a long time. I usually just get books from people I know online via their crowdfunders.
Right.
And there are definitely, you know, some amazing artists out there. Like, you know, like I found Mitch and I found you and all the other guys via extension. You know, you're all great creators, and you know, you're making your own books and you're messing around with art, and you know, and it's as one of the legacy comic makers in the industry, me. You know, it's good. It's good to see that, you know, that young energy out there. Like, you know,
Right.
it's like I just want to make my comic. I don't care if I'm qualified.
Well, it's so much easier to be able to make it and then get some kind of audience to look at it with social media and stuff like that. If you put in the work, it's, you know, you don't have to rely on Marvel or DC or whatever to make your books. You can make it and you could get it seen.
Yeah, no, totally. Like, and you know, going off of something you were saying earlier, it's like, yeah, most people making comics don't make a lot of money, but my thought is, and this is something I want to prove to people, like prove by action. Like, I think if you do things the right way, regardless of your ability as a writer and artist, if you put a book out there and crowdfund it, and you do it the right way, I think you can make some decent money.
Yes.
And you know, I've only done one crowdfunder, and so far, I'm the worst example of what to do in this industry. Because I crowdfunded my book in 2019, and I still have yet to deliver. It's a long story. There's lots of reasons, but no excuses. You know, I will get this book out this year, and then I plan to really, like, you know, double down on crowdfunding and make some really good money. Now, like,
Right.
you know, most people know, like, my brother is Jimmy Palmiotti. Jimmy, you know, Jimmy's the Mr. Hollywood in comics, and I'm the starving artist. But you know, like he's done. I think this is at least his 22nd crowdfunded book that he's doing right now.
Oh wow, that
And
many, huh?
and you know, like as far as people who have crowdfunded, you know, he's not making insane money. He's making enough to, you know, put into the next book and get that one out, you know.
Sure.
But you know, I think there's like there's systems, you know, there's systems. If you follow certain systems, you advance to certain levels. You know, I know, like before I got into comics, I was working a day job, you know, and I went essentially, you know, I got a regular messenger job, outdoor messenger. I worked my way into being an indoor messenger. I worked, you know, I started working in a mailroom, and then I eventually ran a mailroom. You know, and there's systems that, you know, I went from company to company to company every 2 years, got a better position, got better pay, and a better deal. Like, and I believe, you know, as far as crowdfunding, there's certain systems, if you follow them, that, you know, you could bring in some really decent money. And yeah. So I could talk about it forever, or I could show people, like, eventually down the line.
Sure. Well, what I've seen, and it seems obvious to me, is that you know, I've seen a lot of people talk about, and I've said before that, like, the American comic book in as an industry, or you know, it's not doing quite as good as it used to be. So people start talking like, well, is the audience gone? And I'm like, I don't think so, because if you look at certain crowdfunders, there's people out there willing to pay if you make a product that they want, which is, to your point, there is money to be made. You just have to know your audience and know what you're doing, and like put out what you say you're going to do, and you can be successful, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like, one example is, what the hell is it called? Carl, something Crawl, Cave Crawl, or something. It was originally a webcomic, made into books. It's a whole business unto itself now.
Yeah.
They've made millions. Like, they had 2 campaigns last year, I think, that added up at least 8 to 10 million.
Jeez.
Like, serious money. Like, you know, not everybody's going to be like them, but, you know, I think for the average small, you know, self-publisher making his own crazy comic book, you know, in his basement at his mom's house or whatever. You know, I think it's possible to bring in some decent money on Kickstarter, or like this, you know, as far as crowdfunding, there's 18 million sites then. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, maybe I'll make it into a video series that you could buy in my store.
Well, one of my good friends, I don't know if you've heard of the guy, Izik Bell, and his comic Metal Shade. Have you heard of him?
I have heard of it, yes.
Him and I used to know each other on a website, Digital Webbing, back in the day. I don't know if you've ever heard about that. It's been quite a while. And
I know Digital Webbing at Dukeshire, right?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, he was on there and he was developing his art, and then, you know, he moved on and started just basically, from what it sounds like he was doing, like he was building his audience, because he has a style that is all about just leaning into the love of that excessive image comic style from the 90s. And that is what he does. That is what he focuses on. And he built an audience by going to multiple websites, posting his art, building relationships, and getting to know people. And he kept working on his stuff. And then I think it was, I want to say 5 years ago, did his first crowdfunder. And he was messaging me. He was kind of like, dude, I'm nervous. I don't know if I'm going to make this. This is going to be crazy. And because he had like a overall goal of like $5,000. And he's like, I don't think I'm going to make it. You know, before he even started it.
Yeah.
Because you're nervous, of course. You're going to be like, oh, is this going to be a big joke? And he made his goal in like 15 minutes and ended at like 30.
All right.
30,000. And it was like, you never know. But I'm like, I said, I'm not surprised. You know exactly what your art is and what you're catering to and what you're doing. And you're tapping into that audience. And they responded big time. And he's like, it's kind of shocking, you know. And then he did a second one. He hit like, I think his second one was 40 and his third one was like 70,000. And so him and his wife just make comics for themselves, for their audience, on a crowdfunder, which he just ended his most recent one here, just, I don't know, last week or so. And
Saboteur, it's Metal Shade. That's
he knows, he kind of built his brand and gets it out there. And I'm like, that dude is just, that's the way to go, man. He's just making his own stuff. He's got his audience and he's kicking butt. And you know, I chat with him often. He's a smart, nice, humble guy. and just making his books. I'm like, you are living my dream, my dude. You're just making comics on your own, and you're kicking butt, and it's inspiring. So yeah, there's work to be put in, but like you were just saying, yeah, you absolutely can do it.
So we got man-child protectors. I don't know who this guy is. If you are a man-child being scammed by crowdfunding scammers, MPS can help. If you are watching this and don't need to give the comic book man money until there's an actual book in your hands.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Begging for money at the highway exit also made his goal. Okay. Yeah, I just think there's a way for like even small timers to just put themselves out there and make some decent money. It's publishing is a difficult thing to make a profit on, and especially crowdfunders, and especially using Indiegogo or Kickstarter or whoever you're going with. Everybody takes a little chunk
Right.
out of your earnings and all that jazz. Then you got to mail things out and blah blah blah. But I think it is the modern way to go, and I think it's possible to make a decent profit. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like that's kind of the future in a lot of ways. Just make your own stuff and build your own audience. And as long as you provide what you said you were going to, you can do it. It's awesome. There's a lot more interesting avenues for people to exploit, and it's great.
Right. Manchild says, all you have to do is draw the picture and print like 100 of them and sell it. Why do you need to beg up front? The future is AI art. Unfortunately, this is past where it is cool, but it's the past. I don't agree. I don't like AI art.
Yeah, I don't agree with it either. It's certainly something we can't be ignored because it's out there, but
AI is going to implode, and there'll be ramifications. But it's not part of my world. I found the hard thing is even getting out there. Yeah. Saboteur, definitely it's hard to be seen. It's a lot of work is what it comes down to. It's a lot of work to put yourself out there, put your work out there, and be seen. Like it's hard to grow a YouTube channel or Instagram or wherever you choose to go. But it is, it takes time. You got your book, Saboteur, right? Is that close to promotion time for you? I should get you on here too as well somewhere.
That's one of the things that I've also tried to make a focus on my channel is by sheer luck, somehow I've gained a little bit of an audience, and it's fun for me to be able to show other people's books, because that's, like we were just saying, that's one of the harder things is how do you make it, but then how do you grow the audience and get anybody to see it? It's one thing to make it, but then you got to sell it. And, by sheer luck and grace of a higher power, or just whatever the case is, I have an opportunity where I can help someone else get their stuff seen. because it's something that I would hope that it's something I would like to have the opportunity if I was in the similar situation of like, I made a thing, but how do I get anybody to look? So I've shown many small indie books, and if it helps in any way, it's been a nice kind of rewarding situation to kind of be able to help people get their things seen.
Yeah. Like for me, I mentioned early, like there's a lot of links down below to friends and books I believe in. And crowdfunders, even if the links aren't live, I try to update it, as often as I have time. You can check out the books and the people behind it, and see if it's something you'd be interested in, and support them. Support could be just sharing out their work to other people, to your audience. It's like I don't have a big channel, but if by sharing all these links and talking about these people and does them any good, then by all means that's what we within the community should be doing for others.
Yeah,
because I expect every last friend of mine to do it for me. So let's see. Real artists need to not slack off due to AI. Yeah, I mean that just the first part. Like real artists need not to slack off. Period. If you're an artist, then keep with it. Keep doing it. Keep making stuff. Keep putting it out there. The marketing aspect, Saboteur says, is one that is killer. It takes up so much of your own time away from making a comic. Well, like, look at it this way. Like, regardless of what your path is in life, you can go get a day job, work for somebody else, put in killer hours, weekends, evenings, whatever for them, kill yourself for them and not get anything out of it but a paycheck. Or you can put in the time for your own things, kill yourself for yourself is what I say.
Yeah. You'll be much happier at the end of your existence when you're like, you know what? At least I did that.
Yeah. I mean, there's no easy path. What did they say? Like pain is a factor of life. And might as well be pain that you'll be willing to put up with because you'll be benefiting it from it personally. So make your own books and put in the work. Jet Comics says, very true. AI is very disheartening, but I appreciate that you can see that it's making traditional artists lose heart. I'm not losing heart. I don't care about that damn AI. As long as there is inspiration and creativities in the world, I have hope that arts won't fall away in the presence of AI. Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, there's still cave drawings, and they made those billions of years ago.
Yeah.
So to me, there will always be comics, at least for as long as I'll be living. I know I'll be enjoying them. I'll be making them. I don't plan to quit.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So. So do you know what you're doing for your anniversary show?
Are you asking me?
No, the other guy I'm streaming with.
Oh.
Yeah, you.
The other guy. Yeah, I have no idea. It's having snuck up on me because I wasn't paying attention. I'm like, oh, I'll see it when it happens. I'm like, oh shoot, now it's literally tomorrow. So,
You'll just show up. That's it. That will be your anniversary gift to everyone.
yeah, I might just be drawing and have my friend Jessica on. She was like, yeah, I could live stream with you. That'd be fun, you know? So that's probably just the extent of it, which is fine. Just doing the same old, just here, drawing, talking, chatting, making the stuff.
I mean, I've done that plenty of times where, you know, it's just fun getting together with friends and streaming online, talking about art, comics, even, you know, movies, whatever. Like, you know,
Yep.
life, challenges of having pets, you know, whatever. So who are your, I mean, I could probably guess, but who are your like artistic inspirations for your work specifically?
Oh, yeah. Probably like anybody, you could probably like go on forever about the kind of art that you look at that inspires you.
Yeah.
I always say if I could draw like anybody, it would be either like Mark Silvestri or Adam Hughes. Those
Mhm.
guys draw in a way that I'm like, this is just unbelievable. Everything looks, you know, not everyone's perfect all the time, but like just the
Right.
sheer skill that's right there with those guys. I'm like, yeah, all you have to do is say, this person's drawn the comic. I'm like, I got it. I don't even care what it is. I don't even need to know. If I know that they're drawing it, I want to pick it up and I want to look at it and study it and just learn and just be amazed and blown away. But those are the two guys for the most part. Like on my wall, just up here in front of me, I've got some printouts of Silvestri and Adam Hughes stuff. Like I could even point my camera at it. I'm like, right there, I got Silvestri and more Silvestri, and I got some Adam Hughes over here and up there. Those are my top guys. But then, you know, there's the Joe Mads and the J. Scott Campbells and the Travis Charay and Brian Hitch and Jim Lee and it just go on forever. You know, it's always so inspiring to just see all these varying styles and just like it just gets you excited to draw.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. It's like there's probably a group of a dozen artists that definitely like are high tier inspirations. Even if like my work looks nothing like theirs, like
Exactly.
they definitely inspired the professional in me, you know. But it's like when it comes down to it, it's like every artist out there inspires me to some extent. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
the good, the bad, the professional, the newcomer. You know, like it doesn't matter. Like art is art. Art it in itself is inspirational.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
And it's fun to be able to run into people like again through the YouTube channel and like kind of feed off each other's energy. Like, oh, I want to make this thing and want to do that, and to kind of keep each other kind of fueled up and fired up to keep making stuff.
Oh, for sure. It's like, you know, I know I've been working this whole time, but I'm not even thinking about it. It's like,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, just putting down lines.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just kind of mindlessly just keep working at it. And then
yeah,
suddenly you're like, oh, wait, I got a lot done.
yeah. Um, you know, it's like I got into the comic biz as an inker because I knew that would be my way into the door. Um, and even though inkers aren't used like they were years ago, I still love it and I still want to do it for others. Um, and you know, I'll do it. I'll never officially retire. It's like, you know, I tell people like when I retire, I'll get into painting. You know, it'll just be a different form of art.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, but yeah, inking. I could do this forever. Like I just freaking love the challenge of inking. Like you know, inking any artist, inking any style. Um, you know, it's all fun.
Right. Is there any artist that you've always wanted to be able to try and ink and like you just get you fired up and excited because you've never had the opportunity yet?
Well, you know, very early on, I worked for this guy Barry Blair in my career, and he had this artist do one of his books, Dragonfire, I think it was called. The artist's name was Dale Keown.
Oh.
uh, and actually, you know, I joined with Barry kind of in hopes of maybe inking Dale back then. Of course, he already left the company or left the book or whatever. But
Yeah.
you know, I never officially inked Dale, but do you know Joe Sonntag?
Yeah.
He had Dale, you know, pencil one of his covers. Well, I inked that piece and sent it to Joe. Joe said he would use it, but he never did. But you know, so kind of sort of, I got to ink Dale on a piece, and it was a lot of fun. I inked it on a couple of streams on here on my channel. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to really finally ink Dale, really get a sense of his work as I inked him and all that. I love his work. I love, you know, like just the sort of extreme nature of where he's taking it, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. As far as guys that are no longer with us, I would always see like Gene Colan's work,
Right.
and I would think nobody's really inking him right. I would ink him perfectly. I never got the opportunity, but it was like his pencils just call for like a certain approach as far as the inker goes, and I know like what was it? Tom Palmer inked him a lot, and Tom's great, but even so, it's like I could probably do better. Oops, we lost him. We lost Rob. I'm sure he'll be back. Maybe his phone ran out of power. Oh, Dragon Force.
Oh,
There he is.
yeah. I don't know. It just shut off randomly. It just suddenly turned off. I'm like, wait, I didn't do anything. What happened? Okay.
No problem.
Sorry about that. Yeah. But anyway, you were saying,
Gene Colan.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he's done such fantastic work, and like of all the bizarre things, he did beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work on Howard the Duck. Yeah, you know, Gene was a fantastic artist, and it's like there were no boundaries with his work. Like sometimes he didn't even have panel borders, you know.
Right.
And it would take a certain particular inker to sort of reel it in just a little bit, but also understand the flow of it. Yeah. Yeah, I always thought Gene would be really fun to ink.
Yeah. I'm not really super familiar with his work. I mean, I'm aware of him and all that stuff, but I
Right,
haven't
right.
seen a lot of it. But I have seen some big pencil drawings. I'm like, man, that looks amazing, and I don't even know how you could begin to approach inking that. Maybe he wasn't drawing some of these things I was looking at with the intention of it ever being inked, because it was
Yeah.
very lush, like not didn't look like it was meant for inking. But maybe I'm not seeing it right.
Well, I think some of his work was like that. Like I think some was published without inks. Like he's one of the few artists where they attempted to do that. I don't necessarily love that because, I mean, for the most part, pencils are meant to be inked.
Yeah.
Um, even though nowadays you can get away with it not, but still like very rare did I ever see pencils that were just colored that I like.
I tend to be the same. It's not very often where just penciled work in a comic that's colored. I'm like, that's the best version of it. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Um, like Jim Stranko did a book called Chandler, a sort of a pulp book back in the day, and that was all pencils. But he drew it in a way like it was very limited drawings and panels on each page because it was more novel than anything else. Um, and I really like that, but that's the rare exception. Like,
sure. Yeah.
So you don't hear it, but my cat is at the window, which means he wants to come in and bug me for a half hour. So let's see. It's 15 minutes from 2 hours. Like,
Yeah, we're almost at two.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we've been going a long time.
Yeah. Get
Um,
wrap it
I
up.
I haven't put your links down below, but I'll grab them and put them in for the people who watch this afterwards.
Yeah.
Um, Anything in particular you want people to follow you on anywhere?
At this point right now, it's just my YouTube channel is just the best place to find me for anything. That's the only place that's got any kind of traction, and you can kind of hear me yapping on a daily basis about comics, and then talking about art and trying to show off some other indie books for other people out there. There's all kinds of fun stuff I try to share. So just my YouTube channel is kind of the only place for the moment that's got any kind of interesting things.
It's funny. Like, I know you and Mitch run in the same circles, but I kind of found you both at the same time.
Yeah.
On YouTube and all that. Um, and I like both of you individually for different reasons because you're both special. Yeah, I've enjoyed your channel immensely, and as well as Mitch's and whatnot. Make sure to put your link down below. Let's see. One last comment: pencils work better in print when it is in black and white, and it's extremely difficult to make digital color look good over pencils. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I saw Joe Mad's, what was it, The Ultimates? Like the pages for that, I was
Yeah.
so excited, and then I heard that they weren't inking it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"That's crap."
Yeah. And it looked awful. It was
Yeah,
terrible. His
yeah,
pencils, his figures, his compositions, it's all great, but get an inker on that. Get Tim Townsend, get Richard Friend, get all these great inkers. But I feel like he probably chose to do it to skip an inker, to make it quicker and maybe not have to pay an inker. And I'm like, that was the worst thing they ever did.
yeah. Stupid mistake. But well, thank you everybody for watching. Down below is a whole lot of inks. Also, I have, like, if you want to throw me a tip or you want to become a patron, eventually I'll have something to offer there once I clean up my schedule. But yeah, keep making art, keep making comics, and come see me next time and watch all my other videos. I have over 1,000 here. So enjoy. And